Hi, and welcome to this episode of Around West Warwick High. My name is Brian Lynch, and I am now a senior at West Warwick High School. In this podcast I will interview different teachers at the school, learn about their jobs, and a little about their life outside of the school. So today, my guest is Mrs. Lori Huntley, and she is a junior English teacher. And I think she teaches like one senior class too. So how are you today?
Great, thanks, Brian.
What led you to your profession as a teacher?
Oh, it was a long haul. This was a second career. I stayed home with my kids and I worked in restaurants, and then I went to school, and when I was 31, I graduated. I just loved working with kids, and I had worked in a senior center and a community center, not a senior center, excuse me. And part of my job was tutoring kids, and I had my own kids, and I said, I think I like this, and that's how I started. I went back.
Were there any resources that helped you?
For me, teachers who took me under their wing, and even one of my high school English teachers who, when I worked in a restaurant I used to wait on, he was supportive, and I found Rhode Island College had a great placement service, and they were great resources. But I have to say the teachers that have now retired were wonderful to me.
So how has the coronavirus changed the way you had to adapt your class?
Oh, that gives me a headache, Brian. Well, one of the things I've done in the last few years before COVID was I started to go more digital. So I retyped a lot of the works. And this year, having really eased my way into that, now we're full-blown online. So I have a lot of online documents, and I'm reworking them all. This paperless idea is good, but it's a lot of work. But I'm getting there, and all the students seem to be adapting to it too. So I'm adapting that way, and I'm changing some of the tests. Instead of multiple choice or maybe something short, they're going to have longer writing to show their knowledge.
So in March, when the quarantine started, what was your least favorite thing about that?
For me, I liked teaching. The kids were really good who came to class, and they did a really nice job. But the least favorite was being kind of locked up in your house. That was really hard.
And on the opposite side, what was your most favorite thing about that?
Well, I started walking. And that I thought was healthy, and it was something I had been meaning to do. And I was walking almost every day, a couple miles, and it sort of faded a little bit this summer, but that was one of the best things.
Since you're an English teacher, you must come across a lot of words. So what's your favorite word?
Plethora. Do you know what it means?
Yeah, it's like a lot of things.
A lot of. It's a big word for a lot of.
What's one thing that you would be curious about right now?
One thing I'm curious about, I am curious about when this coronavirus will give us our lives back in some sort of normalcy, that we don't have to wear masks to go to school, and we don't have to worry that we're going to be infected or infect others. So I'm hoping that was what I wonder about, when that will happen.
If you are home on a rainy Sunday afternoon, what movie would you want to see the most on television?
Well, I'm a comedy person, so I like movies that really make me laugh. I like older movies from the 80s and 90s, like There's Something About Mary, The Money Pit, anything like that that'll make me laugh. I particularly like when I see Ben Stiller in a movie, like The Fockers, so something like that.
Between your house, your desk, and your car, I don't know if you're a distance teacher this year, but when you were in school, what would you choose first?
Okay, say that again, please.
Between your house, your desk, and your car, which one would you choose to clean first?
Oh, to clean. well, my car is immaculate, so that doesn't need cleaning. So I am in school, and right now this classroom is really clean, and having this paper list keeps it clean. However, my home desk, which we use on Mondays for distance learning, and I did use last spring, that one really could use a good cleaning.
What's one thing that you think you've failed at?
I think one thing I failed at, sometimes I think I could have done more in college when I was in college, as far as having a little more confidence. I wanted to be a lawyer, and I never even applied to law school because I didn't think, I thought I would fail, so I failed to apply.
If a penguin were to walk through your door wearing a sombrero, what do you think he would say, and why would he be there?
If a what came through the door?
A penguin.
Penguin came through my door, and he was wearing a sombrero?
Yeah.
What would he think?
Mm-hmm.
He would think any place I am is too warm for him because I like it nice and warm. So he would think that, and then he would wonder where he could sit, because right now my office is not really clean.
In what situation or place would you feel the most out of place in?
I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable almost anywhere I go, but out of place? I feel out of place at a high school dance.
Who from your past do you really wish you'd stay in contact with?
Well, I have a friend I worked with while I was in college, and we sort of parted ways, and I never caught up with her. She went to law school at 30-something years old, and I always wanted to catch up and see how she was doing, and I just never did. And coincidentally, her nephew was working in West Warwick as a teacher, and I still didn't connect with her.
So we're all spending a lot of time on the computers with the distance learning. So what's the most interesting thing that you've seen online this week?
This week I am just amazed, truly amazed. And the most interesting thing that has amazed me is Mrs. Hassel's use of technology. She is by far connected, and she uses technology in such an efficient way, and it has made my job much easier. So that has been amazing and most interesting this week.
If you could learn any language fluently, what would it be?
If I could learn French, I took French when I was from 7th grade through 11th grade, and I can ask you what time it is. I can tell you to shut your mouth, and I can tell you to shut the door, but I'm not sure which one is which. So I would love to teach. I would love to learn French. My grandmother was French, and I would love that.
I'm sure Miss Machado could help you out with that.
I might ask.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Brian, for having me.
The Media Broadcasting and Journal and Pathways at West Warwick High School are sponsored by Gold Star Retirement Insurance and Alex Smith. When your family buys insurance through Gold Star, you'll help build a sustainable resource for Rhode Island educators. The Gold Star team delivers, and everyone deserves a peace of mind. Contact Alex Smith at alex.smith@horacemann.com. That's HORACEMANN.com. And the Arctic Playhouse, located at 117 Washington Street in West Warwick. Links to both businesses are located in the YouTube version of this podcast. Thanks for listening.